The schedule finally came out, and oh my goodness, it's even better than 49er fans could ever have dreamed of. What's up, everybody? Seth Floyd Hansen. This is the Seth Floyd Show. I'm your host. Thank you for being here. Okay, 380 subscribers as soon as I hit record on this video. Please help me get to my goal, 500 subscribers by the time we hit football season. Share it with your friends, share it with your enemies, hit that subscribe button. It's free. It's free. I'm finally back. Got back from my cruise, 4-day cruise with the wife, celebrating the 10-year anniversary. What up? I highly recommend the cruise. It's fantastic. As soon as I got back, the schedule dropped, and guys, we knew the opponents were going to be weak sauce. We knew that it was like the easiest schedule based on last year's opponents' records. But man, the schedule makers definitely hooked up the 49ers in this one. They did. There's only one or two things that kind of go against them. The rest of it is coming up all 49ers. Now, if we talk about this season, okay, I'm going to be really optimistic in this video. We need to talk about one thing first. Everything I'm going to say hinges on the 49ers staying healthy. Like for most teams, but we know the 49ers are relying on a few players that are older. And all of their success hinges on them staying healthy. So let's go at this assuming they're going to be healthy. Okay, if you want to argue with me that they're not going to stay healthy, then fine. Like that's a whole different argument, okay? Because I don't think there's any way you can look at this schedule and say if all Niners players are healthy or mostly healthy for the whole season, they're not going to win 10 games. I don't think you can, in good faith, if you know anything about football, if you know anything about the roster, can you say with a straight face, if everyone's healthy, they can't win 10 games. Like that is absolute lunacy. I've seen a lot of people overblown. One of the most overblown stories this offseason has been the departures in free agency that the 49ers suffered. Guys, and most 49er fans, you know, I have mostly 49er fans watching this, like you understand. The Greenlaw one hurt. The Hufanga one, like, less than ideal. But, man, that guy can't stay healthy. Greenlaw can't really stay healthy either, by the way. If we look at the numbers, he's missed some games. But also, like, he's not the best in coverage. You drafted Malik Mustafa. The Greenlaw one hurt because you didn't feel like you had a replacement. You still might not, and I like Nick Martin. But whatever. The point is the roster is still good. You can't look me in a straight face and say, look, Trent Williams, when he's healthy, he's bad. No, when he's healthy, he's good. Even if he's not what he was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, he's still he's still a top 10 tackle if he's healthy. Fred Warner, okay, he wasn't healthy last year, and he was still one of the best middle linebackers. Played with a broken ankle all last year, still one of the best linebackers. Nick Bosa, when he's healthy, amazing, okay? Former Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, Christian McCaffrey, you guys get it. You know what I'm saying. George Kittle, you know what I'm saying. If these guys are healthy, there's too much talent to not win 10 games. Come on now. Come on now. I'm not arguing. If you want to argue with me that they're not Super Bowl contenders, I won't argue with you because I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders, okay? I think they're going to rely too much on young players. That's what I think, okay? I could be wrong. I think teams have surprised before and whatever, but whatever, that's not what this is about. This is about they're going to win at least 10 games, okay? So let's talk about some of them, okay? The biggest thing that we can point to is all 49er fans know this. This year, not only do they play the easiest schedule based on records of last year, but the schedule makers hooked them up. They are a +9 in rest differential days. +9. 49er fans, what were the 49ers last year with that gauntlet of a schedule? They were -21. -21 days in the rest differential. That was the most that any team had in the previous 5 years. Not only that, but they had just played all the way into February and lost the Super Bowl. And the year before that, they'd been in the NFC Championship game. And the year before that, they'd been in the NFC Championship game. And it finally caught up to them, combined with the -21 days. So now you have the easiest schedule in the league. You have +9 in the rest differential. You don't play, there's not one team that comes off a bye against you this year. Last year we had 3. And then when the 49ers came off their bye, Tampa Bay was also coming off their bye. So you got no advantage there. Clearly the league realized that that was kind of the Niners had, I think it was 2 years in a row where they had the worst rest differential. The league hooked it up for them this year, combined with the easy schedule. I think one of the biggest things when I look at the schedule just in general when we talk opponents is, and I've said this before, they only play this year, they have 4 games out of 17 against teams that were in the playoffs last year. Only 4 out of 17. 2 against the Rams, 1 against Tampa, 1 against Houston. That's it. Everybody else on their schedule missed the playoffs last year. Now, of course, teams are going to get better. Atlanta's probably going to be better. Okay, imagine Houston, even though they made the playoffs last year, they probably take a step forward because it felt like they took a step back last year. You know, Seattle's going to be better, like things like that. I get it. But last year there's nobody on this schedule that you feel like is a Super Bowl favorite. Super Bowl could top 3 in the odds for the Super Bowl. There's not. I mean, you can look at that. It's an objective fact. There's nobody in the top 4 odds to win the Super Bowl. There's only one team on the schedule that I think could win the Super Bowl if they got hot, and that is the Rams. Okay, with Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford. I would bet against it, but they're for sure the best team you're going to face all year. You have to play them twice, but 49er fans, as you know, Kyle Shanahan, outside of last year and like the first couple years when they had no talent, has done very well against Sean McVay. In those 2 games last year, you should have beat him the first time around. You've had a good chance to beat him the second time around when your roster was really depleted. So like, you don't feel like you're out of those games. You shouldn't, because Kyle Shanahan has done really good against them. There's no other team on this schedule you feel like is really Super Bowl bound. I guess like the Texans, if they really get hot, if they really show something different than they did last year. But you get my point. Whereas last year, you were playing the Chiefs, you were playing the Bills, you were playing the Lions, you played the Packers, who are like going into last season, they were like a sexy Super Bowl pick, or at least to go to the Super Bowl. You had to play the Vikings, who all just had this out of nowhere season, 14-3. So I guess that could happen to you again. But you get my point. Is this schedule is so friendly, Okay. What are some of the other points that I'd thought? Let's talk with week 1. Let's go for the first part of the schedule. Week 1, guys. This is a huge. I think I'm in the minority when I say this or believe this. That is a huge gift from the schedule makers that you get to go to Seattle for a couple reasons. One, Seattle in September, it doesn't rain. That's not I shouldn't say it doesn't rain at Seattle. It can rain anytime, but statistically, if you look at the previous years, it's not rainy season early September. Okay, you're probably going to get sun in that week. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay, that's a good bonus there. 2, what did I already say this season could be derailed is injuries. Well, going into week 1, you should be healthy unless crazy things happen in training camp. And if that's the case, then you got other problems. You got bigger problems. Okay, but the normal wear and tear injuries where a guy gets nicked up and misses a game or so because just this football is violent, like you're not going to have any of that. Everyone should be healthy. Okay. The other thing is, guys, Seattle is coming off like they just traded away their quarterback and traded away their best receiver. So you bring in Sam Darnold, and what's he working with? Okay, he's working with Jackson Smith-Njigba, who's like not bad, but is he a number 1? We don't know. We've never seen him play without DK. They're not going to be, their timing on offense isn't going to be great. They have a new offensive coordinator. I would assume week 1, they're not firing on all cylinders. I could be wrong, Seattle fans. I could be wrong. Maybe they have the best training camp and preseason ever, and they hit the ground running. That's a possibility, but history would bet against that. So you're probably getting a less than perfect Seattle offense. The one thing about Seattle that I think is going to be their strength is their defense. I think their defense is going to be pretty good this year, but you get my point. Like you get them at a good time. You're going to be completely healthy. It should be sunny. Sam Darnold's not going to be firing on all cylinders with his guys. Also, guys, the Sam Darnold you saw last year, like I'd be shocked if you saw it this year, because he had everything going for him last year. He had a good offensive line. He had Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson to throw the ball to. I know TJ was out for part of that year, but he also had Aaron Jones and a really strong running game. And that Minnesota defense was incredible last year. Smothering, overwhelming for most of the season. They didn't bring it every single week, but for most of the season, they were good. Sam was put in an incredible position to win. Well, that's not Seattle. That's not what they're going to be this year. He's got Jackson Smith-Njigba. That's who you feel good about. Okay? I know they drafted Elijah Arroyo. Fine, he's a rookie. You have no idea. You don't know what he's going to be, and it's going to be his first ever game, so cool. Kenneth Walker's like fine. He's good. He's explosive. But he hasn't like stapled himself as like a force in the NFL yet. Maybe he does that this year. I don't know. But you bet against it because you haven't totally seen it yet. The offensive line still has a lot of question marks for them. I know they draft a couple dudes, rookies, great. They could be humming midseason, but you're not playing them midseason, you're playing them week 1. That's kind of the point I'm getting to, okay? On top of that, like, going along with, like, you get all of your division games in the first 5 weeks, all of you play each team one time in the first 5 weeks. That bodes well for the 49ers, again, because of injuries. So you get Seattle week 1, you get Arizona week 3, and then the Rams on that short week, Thursday night football. Like, your guys, less games played before means your guys should be healthy. You would assume, hopefully, okay? I think that bodes well. You get 5 primetime games. 3 of them at home. There's kind of an asterisk there. Could be 4 of them at home because we all know what happens when the 49ers go to LA. It's always a home game. Thursday night, that's going to feel like a home game. Your road ones, so at the Rams, technically a road game. At the Colts, playing Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. I mean, come on. Come on, guys. Come on. And then you've got teams like, you get to play Atlanta. Well, they got to come East Coast after playing a Monday night game against you. Okay? You get, what was the other one? So you've got, Carolina. I think Carolina, are they coming off a Monday night game? I don't know, but they got to come from the East Coast. They're coming back to you. Like, I don't know, man. The schedule it's very, very friendly. They play 4 out of their first 6 games on the road, so like maybe that gets you. But you get another one. Week 2, you get the Saints with such a mess at quarterback. Not even their fault. I mean, Derek Carr wasn't great anyway, but at least he was a veteran presence. He's gone. Are they going to start Tyler Shuck? Maybe. Week 2? Maybe. Is it what's his bucket? Golly. Spencer Rattler? Like, maybe. Is it Jake Hayner? I don't know. None of those guys strike fear into you. Kellen Moore, new coach. Like, are they going to be humming week 2? Probably not. Probably not. Then you get Arizona week 3. Jacksonville has to come all the way to the West Coast. The last couple times they've played Jacksonville, it hasn't been close. Like, you just feel good, man. You feel good. The struggle this year, the struggle or the tough stretch, I don't have it off my head. I should have wrote it down. But Josh, if you haven't thrown up the schedule yet, throw it up. The real test where where you're going to be kind of more battle tested is like week 5 through 8. You get let's think. You get the Rams week 5. Then you get Tampa, then you get Atlanta at home, and then you go Houston, and then I think you go the Rams again. Do you get Houston, the Rams again? Something like that. Like, there's a stretch in there where you're getting good teams, multiple teams that played in the playoffs last year. Atlanta is supposed to be better this year, like that kind of thing. So that's a tougher spot. But you have to feel good. You have to feel good about this schedule. A couple other notes that I had just thinking about it, like 49er fans, like they're going to lose some games. If I had to just take a prediction right now, again, I don't think if I thought they were Super Bowl contenders, like in 2023, I'd be like, yeah, these jokers are going 15-2. I don't believe that. I've seen a lot of 49er fans think like 13-4. That's even a little high for me, though. Wouldn't be surprised because it's that easy of a schedule. If you have perfect health and no one's missing games, like 13-4 is obtainable. I don't think they're going to be perfectly healthy. I'm just saying they're going to be better off than they were last year, okay? So if they're better off than they were last year and it's a more normal season when it comes to injuries and not like the worst in the league, I think they're going like 11-6. I think you split with the Rams. I think you split with Seattle. I could see you losing that last game. Hopefully it's because you're not playing guys or the playoff seeding set, whatever. But let's say you split with Seattle because at the end of the year, Seattle's going to have something to fight for, I believe, and I think they're going to be humming by the end of the year. So let's say you split with Seattle. I can't even find 6. You're a good chance you'll lose to Tampa. I just think that's coming. I think that's coming with Tampa. We've beaten them 3 years in a row or whatever. I think that it's coming that we're going to lose to Tampa in Tampa. So that would put you at 3 losses. Here's the sneaky one that I think you're going to lose. If I had to guess, if I had to like put money upset of the year for the 49ers, you're going to lose in Cleveland. Okay? Every year, every year that they've been good, they always have 1 or 2 duds where you're scratching your head like, what the heck? You guys remember in 23, it was losing to Cleveland, in Cleveland. In 19 and in 2021, I think, that was Atlanta, losing to Atlanta when neither of those teams were very good. They play Cleveland November 30th, week 13, right before their bye week. They're going to be tired. They're going to be exhausted. You play in Cleveland, which you haven't won in Cleveland. I don't know what the number is, but you've lost like 6 or 7 straight times in Cleveland, something like that, something absurd like that. It's going to be cold. The weather probably won't be good. Guys are going to be thinking about the bye week. So that one feels like a good one to drop. You're probably going to drop that. Hopefully you don't drop the one to Houston, but it's possible. That's like one of the other really good teams on your roster. Schedule. But 11-6, this feels like almost conservative to me. I just feel like things are gonna get weird there in the middle. That stretch, week 5 to week 8, things are gonna get a little weird, but it is set up for success for them. It really is. So as of right now, on May 15th, I'm gonna say the Niners go 11-6. Okay, I don't know if they'll win the division. I still think the Rams are the best team in the division, and I think that the Niners have a chance to win the division. We'll see how it all plays out. We'll see Matthew Stafford's health, just like 49ers' health. But they have to play a first-place schedule. So they've got – the big difference is we get the Browns, the Giants, the Bears. They have to play the Lions, the Ravens, and the Eagles. So that right there, like, they could lose all 3 of those games. So you feel good in that sense, but it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. If they don't win 10 games, so this is like the 10 games is kind of the marker, right, to get to the playoffs. If they are healthy or relatively healthy and they don't win 10 games, then there's going to be some real conversations about what do we do with what happens with Kyle Shanahan. I am the most pro Shanahan believer, pro Shanahan 49er fan out there. I just believe in him, even though we haven't gotten it done yet. Like, I just believe in him. I know that offends some people, but I do. But if he were to not win 10 games with a healthy team and the schedule, and Robert Saleh is back, like, there's no excuse, essentially, is what I'm saying. So 49er fans, be excited. You have lots of reasons to be excited. Lots of reasons to be excited. Is there anything I'm missing? I don't think so. I know I just kind of spitballed back and forth, but be excited, okay? Maybe I'll do another video highlighting a couple of the other like real important ones. I've kind of, I've been busy coming back, been at work, but I just be excited. It's gonna be a good year. That's all I got for you. Thank you for being here. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. It's free. Help me out. Help a brother out. And make my dreams come true. But it's good time to be a Niner fans. Things are looking up. Be excited. That Purdy contract's coming soon. I can feel it. Feel it in my nuggets. Okay, I'm out. Go Niners.